Hello, welcome to Sunday Chat with Nick. Happy Sunday. It's shining outside. I think that's the first time we have blue sky and sunshine in about a week. It has been extremely stormy. Good morning, Res. It has been stormy, rainy. Not surprisingly, we lost power for a while. We lost phone. We lost cable. We lost everything. It was a mess. Surprisingly, um, Anthony had school all of last week with all the rain, all the flooding, all the down trees. Anthony's school and the school system here in Sarasota did not close down. His cousin, 1 hour north of us, was home 3 days last week because they closed down the school. So up near Tampa, they got much worse impact of the storm than we did, even though it felt pretty bad. I mean, on Friday, it was crazy windy. My kid, your kid went to charter school. Yeah, I mean, it was. I was surprised. We got, the school called us to broadcast that they are running on time, on schedule. Nothing is closing early. In many ways, I think it's. I think most parents uh hardcore. Same here. Same. My son go to a charter school here. Um, he's in a gifted program in a charter school, and they are hardcore. My son has been in this school system now for the past. Well, this is his third year in the school system, and it's hardcore. You know, uh, it was a big leap in second grade, third grade, and fourth grade. His reading, he has to do a lot of reading, writing, even typing. As I mentioned, I think in the last chat or so, over the summer he had to type things, create PowerPoint slide presentation on a book he read over the summer. It's not all easy summer for not for his school. Rest. It's not. Have you finished Daredevil? I'm assuming that you are near finish based on your schedule. Yeah. How old is your son, Raz? Mine is 9. Um, Last year was not easy for Anthony. Last year was probably the biggest leap for him. Second grade was easy. Third grade was, oh, one more episode. Oh, your son is 6. Wait until you get even to the next level in a charter school. I'm assuming that most charter school put higher demands and expectations on the kids. Um, but my son, when he was in second grade, it was a huge leap for him because he went from when he was in first grade at the other school system, it was suggestive reading, but most of the reading is just like really not chapter books, more like paragraphs, short story, picture books kind of stuff. And then he went to this charter school at age second grade, and bang, with when he was in second grade, he read 40, almost 50 books, uh, goosebump books. So coming from a kid, hello contender, coming from a kid that barely read anything, barely had to read anything as far as chapter books and other stuff, to read 48 chapter books, goosebump books level. Uh, it was a big leap, and it was not easy. And then last year, he advanced his reading level advanced past the Goosebump books, so he had to read other books, and that's when he ran into difficulties, because it's not that he has to read all these books; he had to take tests on them. And I think in second grade he read like 48 books, mostly Goosebump books, and he failed maybe three. I think three books, 3 out of 48 books he failed. By fail, I mean get below 70%. They expect you to get 80% or more. And then on 3 books, he get like 50% or something horrible, but that's okay. Last year, because they test him out at a much higher level of reading, he had to read tougher books, much more difficult books, and that's when he struggled. So last year, he read a lot less than he did the previous year, and he struggled more. He failed more of the books. That there was a higher percentage of failure on his tests as far as his comprehension of the books, but it is what it is. So we spent a lot of time this summer reading and trying to improve his reading skills, because this year it's not going to be any easier. It's not getting any easier, and he just tests. He just took at the beginning of each school year. I'm sure as far as your kids as well, Raz, they took some kind of comprehensive reading and some kind of comprehensive reading test to determine the reading level. And bang, he just took his test last week, and his Lexile score is even much higher this year. So whatever we did last year and this summer kick him up another level. So it's not getting any easier. He can't even read the books that he struggled last year. He had to read tougher books this year. So it is what it is. It's a good thing. At this level, I told my wife, I don't care if he fails on a book test. It's not important. What the school is doing is preparing him for high school when things count. If he can read and improve reading at this level, it will make his high school year much easier. Ron Chang is here. Is it a deal? No. 1.8, 9,000 is not a deal. No way. For 9,000, you better get at least a 2.0. For 10,000, hopefully you can get a 2.5. But 1.8, 9,000, hell no. Not a good deal. Even if the book has no chips and look nice, it's 1.8. At 1.8, most likely it doesn't look nice. It might have big pieces missing, huge tears, big stain, you name it. 1.8, I love how some people like to market, pump, hype low-grade books. It's a good-looking book for 1.8. It's 1.8. By any definition, it's 1.8. It's still a nice book to have for a key book, but no, 9,000 for 1.8 is not a good deal. Yes, Raz. I don't know. And Anthony in his school, Raz. Anthony in his school for compared to his classmates, his is in the middle pack. Okay, he has from second grade, third grade, and fourth grade. He has exceptional, brilliant friends. Even in second grade, okay, in second grade when he was 6, 7 years old, he had classmates that have finished the Harry Potter books and all kind of other books, and they took the test and they passed the test and all that stuff. Now I joke with him that maybe they didn't read the book, maybe they just see the movie. But no, these kids are brilliant. They're really good, because when you see their Lexile score, when you see their standard test to test out their reading level, they are off the chart. Anthony had 3 or 4 good friends that are, for those that understand reading, scoring, lexile. Anthony lexile at his level, at his age 9, is right now like 9. I think he's test out like 960 or something like that. Okay, which is good. He has many friends, half a dozen friends that test out above 1,000. So those kids can read at middle school, high school level. Hello, Dave Becker. Hello, Jorge. Hello, Mikey Can Fly. So many people here already. Jorge, if you haven't checked on my channel the last couple of days, I did a movie review on Jason Bourne. Yes, I survived the storm. We lost power. We had a bunch of branches and things falling on the roof, but no big deal. This is why I have a metal roof. Okay, a metal roof does wonders for insurance and living in Florida, because all the strong winds doesn't bother me. Well, Anthony's school, he buy lunch. I say 60% of the time, like 3 times a week or so, he buy lunch. And the other 2 times he pack lunch. So they do provide. They sell breakfast and lunch at his school. My son's charter school is from 2nd grade to senior, so it's all. One of the reasons why we were very excited that he got accepted and tested into the school 2 years ago was that it's from 2nd grade all the way to 12th grade. So once you get in the system, if you pass and continue to do well, you stay in the school. You don't have to deal with middle school. You don't have to deal with high school. You stay in the school system for the next 10 years. And so we don't have to worry about, where to go for middle school, where to go to high school. He's staying at this spot for the next 10 years, as long as he keep getting his A's and B's. Yeah, the storm was ugly, but as usual, Sarasota tend to miss the brunt of many hurricane. Okay, I can tell you, I live here now for 12 years, and not once in the past 12 years do I worry about any storms. I still need to buy a portable power generator. That's on my must-do list this Christmas. Is we have propane tank on the side of the house to provide for cooking, hot water, and the dryer and barbecue grilling. We have a big propane tank of 80-gallon propane tank that we refill twice a year. But we have that, and I need to do some research because I think we need to build like some kind of structure next to it in order to put the power generator next to it, and then have a gas line go into the power generator, so that next year, if we lose power, I can crank that sucker up, and then we be all good and hunky-dory. We just cannot live here. I told my wife, if we are going to live in this house for another 9 years, I don't want to deal with losing power 5 times a year. Can't deal with that. We have dealt with that for so many years, and it's getting old and tiring to have to deal with no power at least 5 times, if not more, per year. And you're talking about losing power sometimes for days. Oh, your son's school, Raz, is from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. That's good. That's great. I absolutely love my school son's his schedule, because prior to joining this charter school, his other school system was over at 3:15. It is absolutely stupid to end school at 3:15. How many parents can take off picking up this kid at school at 3:15? It was tough. It was tough for everybody. Okay, because we had to deal with after school program, after school care, all that nonsense, YMCA this, YMCA that. It was insane. I hate that. I absolutely hate the schedule. Even though I work at home, working part-time, I still hate the 3:15 end of school time. With his new school system, it's farther away. He had to ride the bus. By the time the bus get home, it's 4:30. It's much easier to deal with him as far as homework, eating dinner, all that stuff. But I don't have to deal with like the dead time between 3:15 and 4:30. So yes, your son is in a similar schedule as my son. It's good, Plus, the bus does not pick him up at 8:30, so he can sleep in until 8 o'clock. Wake up, eat breakfast, drink a milk, put his clothes on, jump on the bus at 8:30. On the movie front, I saw Jason Bourne yesterday. I shot a quick movie review for those that care to hear my opinion on Jason Bourne. It's there on my channel. The only movie left for me to see is Suicide Squad. So we'll see. We'll see when I'm gonna go see that movie next. I'm not too jazzed about it, but Jason Bourne was okay. So for those that are not gonna watch my review, I can tell you I gave that movie a 7 out of 10. Okay, a C. A 7 out of 10 is not a glowing review, but it's not garbage. Avoid. Okay, it's a C. Dave Enrique Chang said, do you recommend removing the outer cover for double cover? No, absolutely not. I know people that don't care about double covers or triple covers or multiple covers, and they think the whole idea of double cover is stupid, and they would rather just rip off the outer covers to get a better book inside. To each his own. Okay, I'm not gonna say don't do it or that's stupid. Personally, I like the idea of double covers, even though the interior covers is nicer and you can't see it. It's just a neat production error to have. I have probably half a dozen, if not more, double covers in my collection, and there is no way, absolutely no way would I rip out the outer covers. No way. I have a Batman 251 where the outer cover is like a 4, the interior cover is like an 8.5, and there is zero chance I will rip out the outer bad covers of that Batman 251. No way in hell. I watched Sausage Party. Like, I saw that. I did not do a movie review yet. I watched Sausage Party. Was it last week? Last week, and it's insanely funny. Definitely not for kids. It's Seth Rogen unfiltered. Okay, if you know Seth Rogen and the way he talked, the way he cursed, the way how dirty his mind works, you will find the movie entertaining because it's Seth Rogen unfiltered. Okay, that's how I would describe Sausage Party. I had a good laugh. Howler Mouse. Oh, Howler Mouse, you're here. Yeah, I liked it. I like Sausage Party. I was not offended. Some people found it to be so over the top, crazy, and at times offensive. I might be in a minority when it comes down to taking comedy and stereotype. I understand stereotype can be bad, can be offensive, But when in a comedy setting, I don't find those situations to be offensive. Sometimes it can be extremely funny. You know, I'm the first to say that, being Asian, I find many Asian stereotypes to be very offensive. But one of my favorite movie is 16 Candles, Long Duck Dong. I found him not to be offensive one bit, even with all the stereotype that they gave him in the movie. So it is all okay. Okay, so there are times to use stereotype, racial stereotype, and it's not offensive to me. And then there's time where it is offensive. So I'm not a PC police that find that gripe and moan and groan and complain about every racial stereotype. Okay, I understand there are place and time for some of it. And Sausage Party have a boatload of that. Not a problem. You can call me. A lot of people can't figure out or confused of how to pronounce my channel. I have heard Etanic, ETA Nick. It doesn't matter. Call me Nick. For all those, it doesn't matter. Whichever name you want to call this channel or me, it's okay. Hello, Repotate is here. Anthony is here. Howler said it had a message and theologically discussion. It made you think on top of the humor. It is. It does. It's a Sausage Party. Surprisingly, is a good movie. Okay, it's not just bathroom humor. It's not just lewd and crude, but on top of the over the top Seth Rogen unfiltered mind. There's more to the movie than Meet the Minds. Meet his dirty minds. But it's funny. It is OMG kind of funny. I went to see that movie by myself. Often I do that during the weekday, especially this time of the year when my business is slow or non-existent. In fact, I have not done anything in the past month. I worked my butt off from last Christmas all the way to the end of July. I worked my butt off, but for the month of August, nada, zilch, zippo, nothing. So I had a lot of free time to make a lot of videos, as you may have noticed, and see a lot of movies. Jorge, you're at the end of your comic. Does that mean that you almost finished your comic? I hope that's what you mean. Not the end of your career in pursuing to be a comic book artist. Jorge, being an artist yourself, here is an idea, okay? And this is for anyone. This is for any creators out there. If you find this idea intriguing, please pursue it, okay? You don't even have to give me credit. But years ago, when I was at the end, this is early 90s, near the end of my creativity and desire to be in the business, to be a comic creator. I'm not a writer. I tried to be an artist, not so successfully. But one of the idea I had, and I tried to get one of my friend who was a better writer to help me write. I roomed with a guy in Boston back in the late 80s, early 90s that was a writer, but he does not read comic books. And I try so hard to get him to be involved in all of my projects because I need a writer. And he he crap on all the comic book related ideas that I have because he just thought comic book is so beneath him. He was more into the literature, snobby stuff. He wanted to write novels and fictions and big books, not these color picture garbage, as he would refer to them. But here's my idea, Jorge. Hello, who dat? I told him I had an idea of a completely different concept on superhero. The idea is this, regardless of the power, okay, this is not, I don't care what kind of power, but imagine you have an entity with superpower, but it needs a host to live in, and it only can stay in a host for a certain amount of time. So the comic book series is about this entity finding a host to stay in, and the host can be good or bad. The entity has no control over the use of the power. So the series is more about the host, the host doing, in some issues the host can use the power for good, and in some issues the host can use the power for evil. Okay, but imagine the struggle, the mental struggle, the inner struggle of the entity as it get itself into the body of a host, and then find out that it has no control over the mind. And so, but the way I explained to my friend, this host can only stay in the body for maybe 6 months. So that basically every 6 issues, you would have this struggle of finding a new host and another chance to get into a different body. It could be a child, it could be a kid, it could be an old man, an old woman, it could be anybody. The proximity of the person, as I was explaining to my friend, imagine the host is a policeman, okay, pursuing a criminal. But at the moment that he get to the criminal is when the host have to change body, and it change body from proximity. So it get into the bad guy body, and the bad guy had the superpower, and the policeman become the average person again. But that's just an idea, okay? This is just an idea I'm going to throw out there. So for those aspiring writers, comic creators, take this concept that I had 20 plus years ago and run with it, because I think there's room for something like that. Maybe they already exist, some kind of characters, storyline like that, but that's it. I don't want to carry on with this rambling, bambling thing, but you get the idea. It's as I was explaining to my friend, I'm just like, I don't care what the power is. The story is the concept is more about the struggle between the host and the entity on what to do with the power. And and the thing is, the host never know when he's going to lose his power. Okay, they think they're going to have this power forever. The entity knows. The entity know that I can only stay here for a certain amount of time. So, but the entity cannot tell the host that I'm going to be here for only 1 week and then I had to go. So the person that have this power is going to do extraordinary things. Could be trying to save a train, stop a train, and then die trying because the host had to leave. But like I said, it's a concept I had way back 20 something years ago that my roommate poo-poo on, and I just thought about it. This week, and I was like, hey, I had this idea 20 plus years ago. Maybe somebody in the field can use it now. Something fresh, something different. Put a spin on it that make it more viable. Carl on Bass is here. Yes, Jorge, the idea of good and evil being very subjective, and that perhaps things are not as black and white as we think. Yeah, it's one of those, if for me, back when I came up with this concept, it was more, something that I wasn't sure if it can fit even Dark Horse. At this time, I was trying to submit my work to Dark Horse, um, and it was just so way out there. It was just. I think today, with the way independent titles and publishers are, there are more ideas, openness to ideas that are more out there. So yes, for those aspiring creators, writers, and authors, if you found any bits of this concept interesting, go nuts, put your spin on it, and let me know. Let me know if you ever create something so that I can buy it and see what kind of spin you put on it. The entity sound like a catalyst for plot more than a character, kind of the star brand or certain many things story. Yeah, it's a concept that I really couldn't flush out completely. It was, like I said, I was definitely not a storyteller or a writer, and as a aspiring artist back then, I was trying to come up with something fresh, um, something unique, and I came with that kind of like half-baked concepts of a character or entity, and I was trying to get my roommate at the time to help me out to flush it out, and he can create the storyline and write the story, and I can perhaps at least put down some drawing for it. And it didn't work out. He thought the idea was cuckoo, stupid. um, yeah, Hollow Mouse. I am all for. I mean, I have I have never been shy to pitch my business idea or story idea. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur at the end, and I learned that keeping secrets of things that I have in my head is worthless. I can't do 99.9999% of all these ideas that's circling in my head. And it is best to put it out there for others that can make something good of it. I'm all for it. I have never asked for anyone to give me any credits when it comes down to like my ideas. At this stage of my life, being 49, I met a lot of younger people, aspiring people that want to do something, want to start a business or doing this and that. And I am never shy to just pull out a bunch of different concepts and ideas, whether it's in comic book story or in business, that I share with them. And I say, if you found this idea to have any merit, go for it. And if I can help in any possible way, ask me and I will see what I can do. But ultimately, the idea is just an idea. People that can make ideas happen, that's more important than my ideas. So whoever it is that like this concept, go for it. I love to see it come to fruition. At least something that I thought about as far as comic ideas was not complete garbage. A green CCC label for manufacturing error? No, green label is for many things. It's kind of silly. I did a bit like a stop the stupid kind of video on the green label. I am too lazy to edit the video to load it. But green label can be production error related. It can be even like a signature. Sometimes when you have a signature on a book and you submit the book, CGC can and have put that book in a green label, which is completely stupid to me. I hate the idea. I hate the assumption that, oh, you have an unverified signature on your cover, it's going to be in a green label. Nothing is automatic. I detest the misconception that people had with green label. It's if you submit a book with a production error with like a detached pop staple, automatically, oh, it's gonna be the Green Label. No, the Green Label is a choice. You can be a jackass and ask for Green Label, or what if, oh, if this book did not have a pop staple, it would have been a 9.4. That's what the Green Label is saying on a book with a pop staple. What if, as if it is detached. Put it in a blue label, give it a 6.0. That makes more sense to me than a Green Label 9.4. What the WTF? Okay, I despise Green Label. I despise people that think that Green Label. Well, I don't hate people that love Green Label. I despise the idea that somehow Green Label is common sense or makes sense. It doesn't make sense. It's stupid in my book. I will never collect or buy Green Label. Make no sense to me. Period. Hello, Bear90 from Europe. Jorge, Nick, I have to say, one of the most painful things of being a comic artist for me is there is not enough interaction with my audience. I feel your pain, and I think that's the biggest problem even today. You know, I mean, when I see today fever of people collecting signatures and getting books signed to get slapped, it's more to do with the covers. It has almost less to do with the interior stuff. And that kind of bummed me out, that the interior stuff, the story, the artist inside is not getting much. Do they even publish fan letter in the book? Does people even write into how many? Like I said, I have yet to pick up modern books that have fan letters, but I don't buy a lot of modern books. Okay, so caveat. But I think the cover artists now are whoring way too much attention. It drives me batty to hear collectors and fan clamor for the covers and not the interior. Okay, so, but what am I to say? Okay, what am I to say? It's just my opinion. I'm not hating on people collecting what they like. With cinema, at least I can sit in a small theater and feel how the people watching my work react to it. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I feel it. I understand. You know, Jorge, back when I was back in 1990 something, before the birth of the internet, before the birth of the internet, well, before the birth of the internet as we know it, one of my business ideas that failed was I wanted to create, this is before YouTube, okay, before YouTube existed, I wanted to create a website where independent filmmaker can load their movies and have free distribution. The whole world can watch it. And people can pay. I mean, even before Patreon, all this stuff, one of the idea I had was, what if I create a website that people can load videos, any kind of videos? You know, the idea I had was, you know, aspiring actors can even load presentation of how they act. It's like a virtual casting couch. And the movie maker can load the movies, everything movies related, whether it's people, actors, director want to be, actors want to be, everything is there. And then people can donate money. If you see something you like, you can donate money. You can fund projects. Aspiring director can ask for funding to make their independent movie. Okay, like I said, it was one of those ideas that I had way back in the 90s at the early stage of the internet that people couldn't understand. People couldn't understand because you have to understand this is before broadband, before you can play video clips on the internet. So the venture capitalists that sit there and listen to my pitch was like, watching TV and movie on the internet? That's crazy talk. Not crazy talk now, is it? I'm just way ahead of my time back in the 90s. Way ahead. I so wish. One of my wish that if people ask me like, Nick, what is your wish? If you have one wish, what would it have been? If you ask me that even today or 10 years ago, I would have said, if I had one wish, it's not to win the lottery, none of that. Just give me a day in front of Steve Jobs. I want a day with Steve Jobs to pitch my vision as far as how I see the internet, how I see technology, how I see many things. It would be an awesome experience to talk to somebody that hopefully would have shared many of the future vision that I had in my head way back in the 90s when nobody understand what broadband can do as far as the way people view and see things on the internet. Yes, I'm telling you, I wish I still keep all my business plans and presentation that I had in the 90s, because I used to have, my laptop was stolen. I'm so pissed and bummed out because I had a laptop that I worked on endlessly on a million project that has everything. Okay, I had all my slide presentation, business plan, you name it, on many of my business ideas. And yes, there's a lot of ideas I had that would mirror YouTube, would mirror Kickstarter, it would mirror, it's like I said, today, as I sit back here today and see many of these things that are picking up, I couldn't help but tell myself I was a decade early. When I had these ideas, it was still AOL dial up. It takes forever to load the web page. So to tell people that in 10 or 15, 20 years, you're going to be able to stream movies on the internet and watch movies, it was just way, way, way ahead of people understanding of what the internet can do. Ron Chang, talking to Job is kind of too late. I'm not talking about Jobs now. I'm talking about Steve Jobs 20 years ago. Big difference. 20 years ago, before the iPod, before the iPhone happened, trust me, if Steve Jobs had the ideas that I had in my head about YouTube, about Kickstarters and all that stuff, maybe Apple would have been 10 times bigger than it is today. And you would have Google. You know, yes, Gore created the internet. I'm not sure about that claim. You know, all I can tell you is, but what happened is over those years, I learned that an idea is just an idea unless you can make it happen. So in my early days, if you talk to me in the 90s and even late 90s, I spent so much time with lawyers, attorneys, NDA, non-disclaimer form. And at the end of the day, a lot of big firms wouldn't sign those things. They couldn't give a crap about, I'm not going to sign a non-disclosure agreement with you. I don't care about your ideas. Care what you're trying to protect. I mean, it was tough. I mean, it's tough for a young entrepreneur with very little backing to get anything going. That's the hard lesson I learned, is that, if you don't have the backing of big money, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So big kudos to all those that make it happen. As much as I don't care for Facebook or many of the technology that we are using today, I can say that it is very difficult to get a startup running And a lot of kudos had to go to even the Mark Zuckerberg of the world, because it's not easy. Making it happen is a big, big task. So nothing but prop to those that can make it, because I was there and I couldn't make it happen. What's your job, Nick? Now, semi-retire consultant. No, as luck had it, I back in the 90s, I had 3 startups. Most of it, well, all of it, well, I had 3 startups that I actually incorporated. Okay, I actually create the company and spent money and hire CEO, all that stuff. So it's not as if like it's just an idea on a piece of paper. But one of them was a software I wrote to one of the things that I created back in the 90s was a software, an accounting software for stock trading, all that stuff. That's why ETA is my business, stand for equity trading analysis. And that idea actually come to fruition and become a successful business. So one of my ideas took off in the early 2000, in year 2000 to be exact. So that's what I have been doing for the most part in the past 25 years. I basically went into semi-retirement about 5 years ago. I work like part-time, sometimes on the average, I work maybe 10 hours a week, in all honesty. But that's basically what I do. It's a software, it's accounting, stock trading software. I basically have given the business to my staff over the past 5 years. I slowly transitioned out and basically gave them the business for free. Okay. None of my staff pay anything for the business. They got it. What I'm still involved with the business, but whatever I do, it's my fee. Whatever they do, it's their fees. Yes, reputate. It's technical for those. It's common. It's easy for accountant or people in finance that deal with the stock market. It's fairly simple for that kind of professions. But like I said, it works. It make me successful, so I cannot complain. I am not gonna sit here and bitch and moan about the lack of success, all that stuff. So anyone that think otherwise can suck it. All I can say is I am a self-made successful man living the American dream, enjoying comic books, and you know, people can say what they want to say. What subject are you teaching, Anthony? I don't think I saw you read anywhere where you describe what subject you teach. Comic book station, you go into 8th grade. Oh, Jorge, good luck. Reaper, you teach writing. A skills that I am still trying to improve day to day. I am never a good writer. I was very bad at writing all the way through college. I have improved slowly, very slowly, and it's something that I write more now because of my son. As I'm trying to help him improve his writing skills, I do a lot more writing with him to help, and it helped me. It helped me too. Jorge, good luck with Klaus Janson. That would be exciting, no doubt. It's quite it's quite a beautiful irony that the guys who quote greed is good give his company away to his employee. Yes. um it's I'm like I said, I'm extremely blessed and thankful that the business was successful. And I can't say enough on how I appreciate my staff, because no doubt, if for those that know my business and my staff, they work hard. When the work come in, we do not have a choice. We do not have a choice. It's not a 9 to 5 kind of business. I can tell you, I have worked many weekends, many late nights, many holidays. There is no one rule for my staff to work for me is, barring a family death, there is no excuse on not working. Because when projects come in, we do the work. There is deadline to be met, and work need to get done. And I'm a tough boss to deal with. But at the same time, my staff, those that have been with me from the very beginning, some of them over 10, 12, 15 years, they understand the business, the clientele that we have high demand on. They pay us well, but they expect a lot. So because of that, we all made a lot of sacrifice. Trust me, all of us, me and all of my staff, have made a lot of sacrifices over the years to make the business where it is. So when it's time for me to walk away, they deserve to keep the business. So these days, when a project is in, my staff will quote how much it costs to do for their part. And if they need me to be involved to do something, then I quote my cost on the project. So when the client agreed to pay, they get to keep 100% of what they do. Okay, 100% of what they do. And I get to keep the portion of my involvement. So that's how I explain I give away the business. Years ago, I pay them a portion of the fee that they do. Now they keep 100% of the fee. Writing is not your strong suit. I think writing is tough. When it comes down to skills, I'm very good at math and stuff, but I'm telling you, being good at math has zero bearing on my reading and writing skills. That take a lot of hard work and practices over the many, many years, and I'm never gonna be good. For those that watch my videos, I'm sure you heard a ton of grammatical error. That's just the way my brain works. I do my best to not make those mistakes, but I do. I make them on a daily basis. When I write, I do a better job at catching myself from those grammatical error. But when I talk, when I speak like this, it's very easy for me to slip and make errors grammatically. Okay, it is what it is. I'm 49 years old. I'm never gonna speak eloquently. That ain't gonna happen. Criminology, comic book station. No, that's interesting stuff. I like criminology. My coordinator created a comic book tab on the guide. I got a chance to teach my composition student last year about comics and literary importance. Now that would be interesting. Comic book 101. Nice. Nick, this year has been a very challenging year, to say at least. I have thought a lot about what's important in life and where I want to go as a career. Jorge says. That's extremely important, Jorge. The sooner you discover that, the better off you will be in the long run, and the happier you are in the long run. That's has been, I think I lucked out on that as far as knowing what I want to do with my life. Reaper said, I wish I was better in math. You know, it's rare to have someone good. It's a different side of the brain, math and literary, right? So it's a rare combination to have someone that are good at reading, writing, and math. It happens. Like Anthony has a few friends that are exceedingly genius, you know, where they are straight A's in everything across the board. Anthony's not. Anthony's like me. He's very good in math. He has some struggles with verbal writing, reading. He's a B student most of the time in that area, which is fine with me. I'm okay. I understand he's not built like the other geniuses in his class. But as contenders say, it's never too late to improve. So I continue to try to improve in my reading and writing and speaking. And you know, I do my best not to have too much grammatical error in my videos, but it happens, and I'm not too lazy. I am too lazy to reshoot the video because I use the wrong verb tense twice in the video. I can take courses for free since I teach. Maybe I should take a statistic class. Love statistics. I am a huge fan. If there is any math that is useful, it's statistics. When I come down, I was a math major. Okay, I was a secondary education / math. I was going to be a high school math teacher, and I can tell you, outside of statistics, trigonometry, algebra, the rest, calculus, really? Calculus 1, calculus 2, calculus 3, you name it. Oh my God, there is so many math stuff that I learned in college that I'm just like, useless. I see the time is 11:52. I will end the chat in about 10 minutes because it's lunchtime. So if you have any question, feel free to ask before I end the chat in 10 minutes. How much does CGC dang a manufacturing error, like color register and cutting? Not much, Ron. When it comes down to production error, like cutting error, color register, those are like the least ding production error, okay? Because there are production error like pop staple. You have many books that are prone to have pop staple, like Batman 222 or Ms. Marvel 1. The bottom staple tend to be pop, more common than many other books. But CGC will ding certain production error very harshly. They don't, because there's no way for CGC to say, okay, this pop staple is created by production, even though we know, because this book is, this flaw happens so common with this book compared to many other books, but we can't not ding it because there's no certainty. Okay, that's the thing. When it comes down to certain flaws, the CGC is more lenient as far as production error is something that is known with certainty, like printer crease. Printer crease is so easy to spot, and there's no way to mistake a printer crease from a regular crease. So CGC is very lenient on printer crease compared to a pop staple. Or binary tears. Binary tears are very common, even in 9.6, sometimes even 9.8. Yes, even 9.8. So binary tears also overlooked often. Reaper said, I want to see more stop the stupid videos. Maybe. I shot 2 or 3 more stop the stupid videos. One on green label. Yes, I can stand green labels. One on blue label, single page slab. Yes, that is another stupid. But there's a couple that I shot that it still need a lot of editing, because as you've seen those videos, I need to shoot 2 versions of me and then cut and paste and cut and paste, and I'm lazy. Have a great time, contender. Enjoy your lunch. Thanks for stopping by. Ron Cheng, how to spot a 9/8. You have to watch my video. You had to watch my grading tutorial on 9/8. It's, to me, believe it or not, 9/8, 9/6 are the easiest to grade to learn. Okay, trust me. If you understand grading or want to learn about grading, the higher the grades, the easier it is to grade, because you're talking about looking at 1 or 2 flaws. Okay, it's not like big flaws, it's tiny flaws. So grading 9/6 and 9/8 to me are very easy, but you have to watch the videos. Carl Bass said, has CGC, basically your question is, has CGC fixed their slabs? I think it's okay. I don't think it has fixed completely. I shot another videos on Slab Talk, which I will load probably Tuesday, that I will talk about the unicorn rainbow effect and my solution. Beyond the quick fix I did a couple days ago, I talk about what I would have done or what CGC could do to eliminate the problem completely. It is so simple. It's sometimes I don't understand businesses that cannot solve simple problems. A very simple problem to solve. Dave Becker said, anybody else go to Labor Day sales this weekend? Not me. Nerd Vision is here, popping in near the end. I'm leaving in 3 to 5 minutes. Raz, hello, you still here? Is it worth the money on pressing Golden Age books? Golden Age books, when it comes down to pressing, Ron, in all honesty, when it comes down to book pressing on many grades, even low grades to high grades in a 9, pressing can improve the grades. Okay, even say 2.5, 3.0, whatever it is, there are certain level where pressing is worthless. For example, a 1.5. When a book is 1.5, often it is completely split. You have a detached cover. For those that watch my grading tutorial, I do a 1.5 tutorial where I show many examples of books that the covers are completely detached and split. There is no pressing in hell that's going to improve that book. Okay, so one of the things that bothers me about pressing is not pressing itself. It is this misconception that let's press every goddamn things out there because that's going to get a better grade. It's not. Understanding how a press can improve a book is something that people need to learn instead of just pressing everything. Not every book needs pressing, and not every press can improve a book. I should do a video on that topic. Let me repeat. Not every book can be improved with pressing, and not every press can improve a book. Words to live by. So hopefully I answered that question, Ron. Is it worth pressing a Golden Age book? If the book can be improved. That's the answer. If, it's harder to improve a golden age book because the covers are very thick. It's much thicker than silver age or modern age books. The covers to golden age books are much thicker. So pressing out a crease of a flaw is not as easy as other age. But ultimately, it's still back to the question, will the press improve the grade? If not, why bother? And same thing with dry cleaning. Dry cleaning is one of the most overstated thing in the hobby, even more than pressing. Everybody think that, oh, to get a high grade, by high grade is like 9.0 or higher, you need to have a white clean covers. Horse shit. Okay, if you understand grading and you see enough slab, there are a ton of high grade books, 9.2, 9.4, that have dirt on the back covers. Yes, dirt on the back cover. So I don't know where the misconception that you had to dry clean the book on the back, because otherwise it's CGC is not gonna give it a high grade because it's a little dirt on the back cover. Oh, come on. You want to see examples? I can give you a ton of examples of books that have dirty back covers that can be cleaned in 9.0 or higher. Stop the spreading of the misconceptions. Howler Mouse came back just in time to hear me cuss a little bit. Yes, there's a lot of horse shit ideas in this hobby. Horse shit. Stop the stupid. Absolutely, stop the stupid. I mean, it's I am not anti dry cleaning, not anti pressing, but there got to be a level of common sense when people talk about dry cleaning and pressing. Okay, it's just like I was explaining this to a friend last week before I go. It's trouble too. It's just like cosmetic surgery. Okay, you can do something to improve certain things on a person with cosmetic, but at the end, sometimes the fugly will stay fugly. Okay, so don't overstate what can be done with cosmetic surgery, because some uglies cannot be fixed. Before I go, last question. Ron asked, is there any other methods on dry cleaning other than eraser? Yes. Have you heard of the Wonder Bread methods? People actually use white bread to rub on the surface of the books to soak up the dirt. Yes. How about tissue? You can use a soft tissue. I have done this before. When I get a book, some books are so dirty that when you pick up the book, you can feel the dust and dirt in your fingers. Okay. By Howler Mouse. So for those books that is that dirty, when I can actually feel the dust and grime on the covers when I touch it, the first thing I use is a tissue, a soft tissue. Just wipe it. Okay. Comic Crack showing up right at the end. Anyhow, it's time to end the show. And thank you for all the participants in the show. I hope you enjoy my rambling as usual. As in any of my chats, I just go by what people ask. Okay, I don't have a script. The only script I have is the first 10 minutes when I talk about something before other people pop in and start asking questions and converse with me during the 1 hour chat. So it's not script. I prefer it that way. I like it that way because it's off the cuff. I like to do things off the cuff. And that's it, folks. Time for me to go. Big thank you for everyone. Until next week. I'm not sure about Wednesday. And the reason why I'm saying that is I might have to have my wisdom tooth taken out Tuesday. This whole side of my face have given me a lot of issues the last 2 days. And it's my wisdom tooth. Yes, at age 49, my wisdom tooth decided that it want to come out. I had a hard time eating and chewing the last 2 days, even 3 days, 2 days included. So look like I might have to go see the specialist, the oral surgeon, Tuesday. And depending on how I feel Wednesday, I might not have a chat this Wednesday. It's okay. So if you don't see me Wednesday, it's because this wisdom tooth right here is coming out. It's giving me throbbing pain all the way around this side. It's pushing my jaw. It's a killer. That's it. Later, if not Wednesday, for sure next Sunday. Bye.